Alright, so in this tutorial I want to go over about to go back to this, the AiShadowMatte shader. Right here, this shader. And I'm going to click on this, remember this, so I can pull it up. Yeah, ignore this, but don't cut it, just ignore it. Can't really explain what this is after all these years. I just know that it's important. So here we are, AiShadowMatte shader. This shader. I'm gonna press Alt, also press the right mouse button together, and move my mouse to the right to make it bigger. So you have shader, 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 shader ball. This is also a shader ball. It just doesn't look like it, but it's a shader ball. So why is this special? And you know, currently this thing is applied to the wall, only the wall, only the wall. Which we'll double click, right? And see, that's the color. Maybe I should give it a different color. Yeah, maybe I'll do that just to differentiate it. Maybe something like, I don't know, like that. Right. Maybe I'll give it a lighter color. Right. Alright, so I gave the background a lighter color. Right? My AiShadowMatte, I have it selected. Here's my attribute editor right here, right? Gave it a lighter color, kind of pinkish purplish color. Right? I just did that to help differentiate it between the blue Teapot set. Alright, so what am I trying to get at? As you can see, this color of the wall, right? That light pinkish color, you see how it bleeds into these other objects right here. See that color bleed? And over here and over here, a nice color bleeding into this next object, and over here, right? All of this, the secondary color, color bounce, light bounce, is caused because of him, allowing for that indirect illumination, which I talked about over here, right here, under diffuse. The AiShadowMatte shader, this guy right here, right, under the attribute editor, and I talked about diffuse, and I talked about to turn it on, right? Remember, this diffuse. So this indirect diffuse is all this pinkish haze that's bleeding into this object. Diffuse, indirect. That's why it's special. And this is that color bleeding into here, 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 giving that nice soft pinkish tone, right? So what does that, so it's like, okay, who cares, just maybe I'll make another a regular shader, the AI's standard surface, and I'll apply it to the wall. Well, it would not give off the same effect. It will not. I'm pretty sure of it. I've done tests and it doesn't come close to it. So this is why he's special. And I'll give you another reason why this shader is special. So what I'm going to do is, let me save this. I'm going to This here, if I have that, it'll pause the interactive rendering. So what's my point? You see my AI sky dome, right? So let's say in the side view, I'm going to zoom out. Here's my AI sky dome. If you can notice, I have a blue background, right? The way you can get that instead of just a boring gray background is if you press Alt and hit B as in Bob, hit B as in Bob, you get a gray color. Hit B as in Bob, another lighter grayer color tone, or hit B as in Bob again, you got a bluish tone. That's how you can get a different background color. But this background color does not affect the rendering. It's just you know what it looks like here in the viewport. So here is my sky dome light, which this sky dome light is throwing light and color into the scene. Okay. So what am I trying to get at? Right? What am I trying to get at? You know, talking about the sky dome light and all of that. Well, let me turn this off. My interactive rendering, where it updates to whatever I do, turn it off. What if I were to just kill this off? Now there's no sky dome light, because that was supposed to be my primary source of light exposure to influence the scene and give it its shadows and its lighting, right? So I kill that off. So if I kill off my light source, my simulated global light source, my global illumination light source, I killed it off, right? You just saw that. My scene should be dark, shouldn't it? Because there's no light in here. Let's see what happens. Now turn that back on. Wait, wow, that's kind of pretty. So this is actually kind of nice. Just in case, I'm gonna do a force surrender instead of an update. Under render, I should show this anyway. Render, right? Update full scene. Sometimes when you do interactive rendering, it won't render the right way because there's gonna be some glitches. That's why you have to go on the render and the update full scene, which will brute force a full render. That's why this thing sometimes the IPR can be a little what's the right word I'm looking for? Sometimes you just can't trust it. Sometimes, once in a while, this guy, and that's why you have to go here, update full scene to get a fresh full render. Oh, but that looks kind of nice. So if I killed off my global illumination physical sun and sky light dome, right? Remember, it used to be here, right? A huge dome, but now it's gone. That was my primary source of light, and it's gone. I only got my wall, but I still have some lights going on. It's lit. Why is that? And it's kind of nice. And if I look here, I got my materials tab. These are different tabs that you learn. This is my lights tab, where anything that I made in lights will show up here. My hypershade, right? Which is over here. There's no lights. So how is this being illuminated? Right? There's no lights. Where's my light? My light dome. Well, the reason why is, going back to my main point, is this. The AiShadowMatte. It's a really strange name, ShadowMatte. Like, what the hell is a shadow matte? What does that mean? Shadow matte. Well, regardless of that weird name, it has to do with the shadows and compositing shadows, but secondarily, it provides with very nice secondary diffuse lighting. This, which again is back to this diffuse, indirect diffuse, which is only available, click on my materials tab, only available in the AiShadowMatte shader. This guy, attribute editor, his attributes of the diffuse, indirect diffuse checked on. Hence we got this nice free lighting. Basically only took 5 seconds, and it's kind of has this nice pinkish hue because the background wall color is this pinkish hue, whereas before, see this pinkish hue, there's that pinkish hue, whereas before we had the shadows, right? That was because I had the global illumination, that dark black dome, right? Now there's nothing, no dome, nothing. All this light is being generated by him because of his diffuse. So what if I were to turn this off? Let's turn that off. So I mentioned what if I were to turn off the diffuse, indirect diffuse. This is the result. Here's the before, right? And after. See how that nice pink hue goes away, right? And you see a lot of that secondary self-illumination is gone. See? So this here, right here, was with the global illumination on, before I deleted it. This right here. This is after I deleted it. This is before I deleted the dome. This is after. And then this, which I'm going to save, is turning off the indirect diffuse. First, second, third. It progressively gets darker and darker. Now, you see this specular? See that? See that reflectivity? What if I were to turn off my indirect specular? This is that shine. See? On. Specular reflectivity is on. Specular reflectivity is off. Specular reflectivity on, off. That's the result of that. Here, 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 here. That's that. Off and off. But it's still having some light. You still could see your object. Okay. What if my background color, which is applied to the wall, I do that? No light energy, no light bounces, nothing, purely black. Which is why, again, this shader is very special. There's other things about it too, but it's very special. Yeah. So that's the AiShadowMatte. And to even take it further, right? Let me undo that. I like that color. I'm gonna turn this back on. I'm gonna turn that back on. Right. So what if I were to grab my infinity room, right? That big old cylindrical room, right? Right, this room, and let me experiment. Let me put the Teapot shader, this teal light blue colored shader, right? This shader is different from him. They have totally different properties. So him, I want to apply his material onto the wall instead of the AiShadowMatte. So I'm going to hover over that, right click and hover, assign material to selection. Now everything is this shader. Remember, this shader is a AI standard surface. This shader is completely different from the AiShadowMatte shader. This is a special niche shader. Now let's do a test render. I'm gonna force a render. Render, update full scene, also known as Control U. It's rendering. See the time. 5 seconds, nothing's here. You see that flickering? That's just me. You could select your objects through the render view. Basically, that's what that is. So just ignore that. There's no render. There's no color. Nothing is being illuminated. See? That's the reason why, again, this shader is special. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that. I had to go over it to fully understand this. I have to break it down like this and borderline bore you to death. Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my nice renders that I get because of him. Maybe a couple other special little tricks I have. So yeah, that's the end of that render. Bye bye.